Well, we're going to get started, and so I would like to start us out with a prayer, if y'all don't mind. No, that's quite all right. So I just wanted to start us off in prayer. Thank you, Lord, so much for this day. Thank you for the many blessings you have given us. Please look over all of the people who are coming into the Metro Center today. Please look over the vendors and the people who have taken time out of their Saturday to spend with us. Please let us see your path for us today, and thank you for those that you will put in our path. In Jesus' name, amen. So, good morning again. I am Phil Early with Assembly Required, and a little bit about me. When I started out as a child, which is where we all start out at, well, I used to like to take things apart. I was always very curious about how things worked, and started out like I'd take my toys apart. And I'd take my dad's clocks apart, which that usually didn't wind up really good. So finally he got tired of me taking his clocks apart. He brought me a box of broken clocks to just have at it. And then, especially like with my toys, then I started trying to get them put back together. And so that would kind of got me started on my path of doing assembly work. So I did a lot of model toys when I was a kid. That was a lot of fun. Just taking things apart. Never really gave a lot of thought to what I was learning when I started doing this. I was just kind of curious about how things worked. So kind of fast forward out to my teenage years, I had a 67 Mustang and not much money. So here again, my curiosity kind of worked to my advantage. So it was a combination of keeping the car running so I would be able to drive around and learning things at the same time. Again, how things work, and then also why things didn't work. So that was a big part of it. So and this kind of carried on to my maintenance career that I started, as I got a little bit older. So I was very fortunate to have some very knowledgeable people pour their knowledge into me when I was younger, and I consider myself to be a multi-skilled tradesman. And as my knowledge grew of the maintenance world, so did my responsibilities. So then I became a maintenance supervisor. Years later, became a plant engineer. But my curiosity about how things worked was still there, and it still is today. So that's been a big plus for me. When 2020 came around and we got into COVID, I decided to go to work for myself and start Assembly Required. And so I hope that what I do today, I can impart some of my knowledge and some of my bumps in the road and kind of help you save time, because that's what we're talking about here today. It's like when D.I.Y goes B.A.D, this impacts your time, because some of the things you're wanting to put things together and you want to try to go well as possible, but sometimes it doesn't. So what I've kind of come to learn, is, okay, so anybody here ever tried to put together a piece of furniture? Okay. And how about a room of furniture? Okay, not bad. How about a trampoline? Nobody ventured in this. That one can really be its own. Somebody back there wants one put together. I can see that right now. That's awesome. That's the one that can really get you. Like just something simple like just putting a TV mount on a wall, flat screen TV, or even painting a room. That's DIY. So I talk about with DIY is that when D.I.Y goes B.A.D, it's usually because of 3 T's. You've got time, tools, and talent. And when you're missing one of these 3-legged stool items, it just doesn't turn out well. So I'm going to start out with time. And just because it's D.I.Y doesn't mean it's going to go quick. You kind of have an envision in your head when you're looking at this and you think, this is going to take me about an hour. Or, this might take me about a half a day. This might take me all weekend. But you've got an idea in your head of how long it's going to take to put this thing together. So, so you start putting things together, start struggling a little bit, trying to figure out what is these instructions telling me something, and I'm not quite wrapping my head around it. Then you start getting a little stressed. And then you realize that that hour just went by. And now you're getting a little more frustrated. And then you realize another hour's gone by. And you're thinking, man, this is taking a long time. And then the job starts getting harder. And then you kind of sometimes start coming a little unglued because you're just like, man, I really thought this was going to be simple. It's D.I.Y. I should be able to do it myself. Well, the second item is tools. Now, what's really cool when you get a piece of furniture is you get that packet with all the hardware, and they give you this cute little Allen wrench. And if you're lucky, you might get a screwdriver that looked like it came out of a child's little play toolbox. And that's what you got to put together 4 chairs and a dining room table. And you're like, okay, well, here we go. Let's get going here. So this is where you really will start to struggle because you're like, I've got these 2-3 things, maybe a little small wrench. That's all you've got to work with to put together 4 chairs and a dining room table. You're going to be there a while. All right, then the last one of the third is talent. So unless you do this a fair amount of times, you're good with your hands and you can wrap your head around what these instructions are telling you. Here again, you've got to, it's going to take more of your time, which is what you're trying to not lose in the process of doing this. And, if you don't know the difference between an M8 by 1.25 socket head cap screw and an M8 by 150 socket head cap screw, and you put the wrong one in the wrong fastener, yeah, you got a little bit, you're going to have more problems happen quickly. Then the next problem happens. Now that you've got this thing, this hardware, you got the hardware wrong, and now it's not working right. Now you got to go to Lowe's. Well, Lowe's doesn't have exactly what you need. They've got something that's a little longer, so you head back home. You've got the right fastener, but it's too long, and you got a bag of flat washers. Just try to put this whole thing together. But, or you do something else. Heaven forbid, you grab the wrong screw, the wood screw, to put into the table, and you run the screw through the tabletop. And you're like, man, this just did not go well. So I admit, sometimes assembly instructions are harder than Chinese math. And sometimes all you have is pictures. And that's pretty crazy, huh? So how do we solve this problem? Well, you get a person who's put together hundreds of pieces of furniture. They've worked with they've seen different designs, they've seen different sets of instructions, and they know to respect the process of how this company said to put this stuff together. Because sometimes what will happen, you're thinking, I should put that together, and then I'll start putting this together. Then you get to a point you're like, oh man, that was supposed to go on before I did this. Oh, somebody just shook their head. They've done that. And I have too. So it's, and then you're like, well, here's some more time I just lost because I got to take this thing apart to put this thing on and then put it back together and get myself back to square 5. All right, so I need I need a volunteer from the audience. Woo, there we go. Okay. I'm good. Well, I tell you what, I can let both of them, if they play well together, I'll let both of them try this exercise. If they can put some stuff together. I have a little puzzle up here that I'm going to have them put together, have them put one of the puzzles together, and then I'm going to put the other puzzle together. Okay, hold on. Whoop, 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 whoop. Didn't say start yet. Okay. I need you two, and you are JR. Hey, JR. And you are Mackenzie. We got Mackenzie and JR here. Okay. I'm going to have you two over here. JR. Okay, you're going to be working with your, I guess it's your sister? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have you work with your sister and put together this puzzle, okay? And then I'm going to put this puzzle together, all right? Okay, now I'm going to give you a shortcut because there is some directions. Now, if an adult had been doing this project, I would have just gave you the book, so. Okay, so when y'all get finished, what you will have is this puzzle, and when you spin these little white gears, they're all going to turn. Almost, yeah, you're close though. Okay, so take all these out.
Wait, hold on.
This is going to be fun. All right, y'all are so, man, out of the box. They got all but one. Okay, so y'all are putting that one together. This one right here that I've got circled. Now, I'm going to do this one. And here we go.
Look at the shorts and
How are y'all doing over there?
yeah, kind of.
Are y'all getting it?
Yes.
Awesome.
Got one more piece.
Got one more piece. Oh, they're laying waste to me.
You could ask for another grown up. You could ask for another grown up.
All right. So I'm done. How are y'all doing over there?
Good.
All right, spin the little thing. Whoop, those gears aren't turning. A little something's got to take something back out and reassemble it. But they're doing pretty good. Okay, still got a couple of gears aren't turning, which is sometimes my day. So, this is where the process of understanding the instructions and being able to have this all in front of you makes things a lot easier. Now, somebody would have said, now if one of the adults had been up here, I'm sure somebody would have said, well, that's not fair. You know, you used your phone and you've done that a couple of times, so you knew where everything went. Exactly. So that was the point of the exercise. It lost its fun really, really quick. Now, when you've done a DIY project, how long did that take? I'm about 10 minutes in and I'm not having fun anymore. I haven't even gotten everything out of the box. So. Yes. Yes, JR, y'all can go ahead and roll out. All right. Well, I tell you what, that is awesome. They gave that a great shot. They got close. That was really cool. So our big takeaway here is, what is your time worth? So would you rather spend half your Saturday trying to put some stuff together and get aggravated, or would you rather spend that time with your family, with your friends, getting to build some memories, or there might be a golfer in here, be able to spend a couple of extra hours and be able to play the back nine or the front nine, because you got to catch up with your buddies. They've already gotten through there and they're on the back nine. So we pretty much know the answer to that one. So people like me enable you to be able to have that time to spend the way you want to use it. And when we're done, the project's finished. It's done the way the people who designed it wanted it put together. All the boxes, all the styrofoam, all the plastic, everything's gone. You never even realized we were there. Everybody's happy. Now, I'm going to say, I have never saved a marriage, but I feel pretty sure that what I have done is enabled a couple to sit down on the couch on Saturday evening with a glass of wine and be able to watch a movie and have a nice evening, instead of, the husband might be hanging out in the man cave and he just knows those two boxers are sitting in the garage staring at him, and the wife's probably in the kitchen and she's texting her friends. Those two boxes are still out there. Project didn't get done again. And then Sunday, unfortunately, the whole cycle kind of starts over again. So this is, as I said, this is what we do. This is the thing that we give you. We give you time. Now there's, if you've got a small little project, like a little end table or a small, and you're kind of handy, you've got that and maybe a small bookcase, it's not going to be a big struggle, and you'll probably be able to get through it pretty easy, and it goes pretty well. But you decide you want to buy a D.I.Y. bedroom suite, and you've got nightstands and a chest of drawers, things like that. It will be, that gets pretty daunting. So these are the things that, if you're going to get into a pretty much a bigger project and you think, well, I'm probably going to have another one of these somewhere down the road. So here's one of the tips. Invest in a good set of Allen wrenches. Spend $15 or $20. So you're not dealing with that little itty bitty Allen wrench. Get you a couple of good screwdrivers and a hammer. That little playset screwdriver, it might make it to the end of the project or it might not, but your fingers are going to feel it at the end of the day. So another problem that pops up every so often, it's like about every 6 months, I'm having to go back and tighten the screws on these chairs, or on some lawn furniture I've got outside. I get there in spring and it's like, man, these things are all kind of loose. Well, there's a product called Loctite that's really cool. And what that does is it helps the screws and the hardware stay together. But there are different types of Loctite. There's a blue and then there's a red. So if you use a red Loctite, you know that you're never going to be taking this thing apart again. Now, if you use a blue Loctite, and it works almost as well, but if somewhere down the road you want to take this apart because you're moving out of state and you want to break this thing down so you can get it into the trailer, you'll be able to take this thing apart pretty easily. But these are great situations where something like this Loctite material, and you can get this at Lowe's or at Home Depot, or also Ace Hardware. you can get these things there and be able to, keep this furniture from coming loose on you. So I appreciate some folks popping in today and listening to my seminar. I want to thank Jimmy and Kate for putting this show together. This is awesome. There's great folks out there. Hope y'all get to, get some great interaction. Get some of that popcorn when you get back through the door. That stuff is off the chain. And I hope that all of y'all have a blessed weekend. Thank you.